www.twitch.tv/McFadden podcast series 1 number 66 live. It's a special holiday thing.
You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more.
It's going wrong already. That's brilliant. Hello there. Welcome to the Flashing Bloke podcast. I've no idea what's going on. And with me, in reverse chronological order, and we are still waiting on Davies. He is going to be here, though. We have Dominic.
Hello.
Eddie. Brian. I'm having to do this from memory, and it's backwards as well. Steve.
Hello.
Hang on. Sinister. Vicky.
Everybody.
Bob.
Well, where am I? Hello.
And, of course, the original plucky girl assistant after 3, everybody. 1, 2, 3. Joe!
Oh.
Present. No one warned me we were doing that.
Yeah, I suddenly realised people tend to be wearing headphones doing this. That might not have been the best thing to do. Hello, Lilibet. Hello, sweetheart. Better explain today. I've been nagged, I think as I said last week, I've been nagged over the years to have a show where everybody who's presented the Flashing Blade takes part.
And now you've left it too late.
Yes, sadly. I was about to get there. Yeah. So I thought, well, all right, now's as good a time as any. And just by sheer coincidence, today is part of a bank holiday weekend, which means everybody's got a day off work over here in the UK, which makes it easier for people to get together on a Sunday evening. Plus, they're not going anywhere, let's just face facts. So it all very suddenly came together during the week, and here we are. Kevin Davies will be along at some stage. I haven't invited certain other guests, for example, Professor Dave and Lilibet, Alistair as well, simply because I just wanted this to be the main hosts of the show. Plus, there's more than enough of us here. Let's face facts. So, right, how are we going to do this? Tell you what, we'll go around and we're going to ask what you've been up to in the years since you were on the Blade. Why not? Let's start with Jo, because she's been gone the longest. Hello, old thing. What have you been up to?
Stuff and things. Marrying. Moving. And then moving again.
That's
So
true.
Yeah,
Wynn's
so-
a teenager now, isn't she?
Joe, have you still got the Peter Davison in your pocket?
Peter in the pocket. Yeah. Somewhere. But yeah,
Excellent.
I do have that. Yeah. So yeah.
Reader, she married him.
Oh god, it was so embarrassing. I don't know whether I told you I met Peter at I think it was Milton Keynes Comic-Con, and both Wynn and Lee frog marched me. He was on his table waiting for pictures, and it had quietened down by this point. And I said, "Oh, I'm going to go up to him." And I then chickened out and went, "No, I don't need to meet him." And they literally looped my arms, and he just went, "Well, you don't have to see me." And he was lovely, absolutely lovely. So, and I said, you should do more comedy. And then lo and behold, he did the Five-ish Doctors. So I'm not saying I had anything to just saying.
He kissed my Muppet. That's all
Is
I'm
that
saying.
a euphemism?
That a euphemism? Yeah,
He kissed my Muppet. That's all I'm saying. If you're wondering why we got 2 Dr. Sinisters, so am I. So, there we go. Dear me. Yeah.
Voting machine, it's gone wrong.
Steve brought this up. Hello, Alan. Don't forget, folks, we've got a live chat going on the Twitch page. So there's going to be people interacting. We've got 7 viewers.
Good heavens.
We have 8.
Crazy fools.
Well,
Why?
Wow.
hang on, though.
We're
Isn't
almost
that-
to double digits.
No, come on, that's just madness.
I know.
Hang on, I'll go tweet.
Isn't it a rule in the theatre that if you have more cast than viewers, you have to cancel the show?
Sorry, which one do I talk to?
That's up to you. Voices were made.
Oh, I got 2 of them. I didn't know, and I was well off. Ha! I got it out. Right. Yes, as Steve mentioned, we have left it too late. As we said on the show a short while ago, we've lost Ian Parks, who was basically a presenter with Steve. They started out doing the Big Finish reviews, and then they took over the show. Steve, I want to ask you, what was it about the Blade that Ian enjoyed?
I don't know. Ian was very strange. No, Ian was very strange about his Doctor Who fandom, because he kept it. He wasn't like us, who are like sort of out and proud and things. And well, I talk for myself. I don't know about everybody. But he hadn't kept it quite quiet. I mean, obviously he was a member of the Hoovers group, but we all knew he was a Doctor Who fan. Otherwise, he'd have been in the wrong place. And he was a key member of our conventions.
Oh, very much so. Yes.
He was the MC on the day and all the rest of it. But he didn't make it widely known. I mean, whether people know, it'd be about 15, no more than that, 17, 18 years ago. He was on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and he won quite a substantial amount of money on it, and didn't mention being a Doctor Who fan on one occasion while he was doing
Oh,
that.
the
He
great
would do
shame
this
was
sort
still
of thing.
upon him. He hadn't come through the purifying of Eccleston.
I think that's right. Yeah, but he did enjoy it. He enjoyed it very much, and when he and I were doing it together, he was the one who was technically able. I don't. I'll talk rubbish into a microphone or a camera, but Ian could actually then take it away and put it together, which I've never been able to do, and that's, to my great regret, really, is how we sort of came to, well, peter out. We didn't even really finish. We sort of petered out.
You
didn't we,
fizzled.
really? We very much fizzled.
You fizzled.
And in fact, there are somewhere, probably not anymore, there are 2 lost episodes of the
Oh,
Flash
goodness
and Blade
me.
that we
Hey,
recorded.
we've got lost episodes.
We have, and I don't think
Yes!
they'll ever be found because they're with Ian. Because they went to Ian to edit and put together and the rest of it, and he just never got around to doing it. Never
I
had
know
the
it's
time to do
ridiculous,
it,
but
so-
I actually do find that quite funny. We've lost 2 episodes from the archives.
Yeah.
Can we
never made it
rotoscope
to
those?
the archive.
Yes,
Yeah.
we'll
Can we
animate them. What
colorise
the
them?
hell?
Well, I certainly haven't got them anymore, so they just don't exist anymore.
Oh, this is
But
marvellous.
We did record them.
I'm going
We
to
did
send a tweet
record
to Philip Morris.
Yeah.
I feel I should. Right, who've we got in chat? We have, well, we've got Lilibet, and I'm guessing Dave's there as well somewhere. We've got Alan Butcher. These are long-time listeners of The Blade, and of course, Dave and Lilibet were actually part of the show. Professor Dave's... Is it Ask Professor Dave? I can't remember what it was. It's so long ago.
Professor Dave Dark in Space. That's how I got
That
here.
was it. That was it.
No. The little
Oh, the
section
new
that
one.
they did for us, for the
Oh,
podcast,
yeah.
and I
Oh.
can't remember what we called it.
Oh, neither can I. Oh.
Come on, you guys, you
You're
all
not
used to
telling.
listen to the show. Help me out here. If anybody's interested, by the way, you can listen to the old show, the old Flashing Blade podcast. It's on Mixcloud, so you can just listen to it for free.
We'll make mind.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I don't
Then we
know.
are-
He's my brother.
We're back.
Yeah, we're back.
Refresh.
Yay.
Hello,
Yeah.
sorry about that. My IP, Virgin Internet or Virgin Media, they've got a thing around about this time of night where they just start switching my internet on and off.
She goes.
Yes, and apparently I can't spell the word refresh. So there we go. We got.
What the hell?
You froze again, Siobhan. You froze again.
Yeah, it's. I'm going to keep an eye on this. It's when the little internet monitor thingy turns into a wireframe world. That's when I know I don't have internet.
Is it because there's too many of us?
No. This is like I say. Davies is here.
Yeah. No, I did a Zoom convention. This is not too many of us.
Oh no! I mean, look
No,
at the.
that's-
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
Look at the quiz of Rassilon's like.
Of course.
Here he is. Here he is. Let's wait for it. Hang on. He's there in audio.
He's coming.
I'm here in audio. Hello.
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 You got a video camera, love?
No, it's I'm in the spare room and it's a right old mess behind me. So it's not
Thank
very
you
quick.
for sparing us the sight of you.
That's mine.
That's really kind. Kevin,
I put up
The
a
magical
Re-
world of spare room.
read everybody's names because I'm not going to go through them all. We'll be here until the crack of doom, quite frankly. Robert, what have you been up to in the passing of
in
the
the
years?
shadow.
Oh, multiple things. Moving, coming to grips with various health issues, unfortunately, and generally getting a job and having to earn money and things like that.
Life, you mean?
Pretty
So
much.
Rob's an adult now.
Yes, you have to do adult things. This
Right.
means you have to decide what you want for dinner every night for the rest of your life.
Unless you're in a relationship, then you ask the other person.
Is that a good reason to be in a relationship? We have to ask.
Yeah, because you just keep going back and forth together and you never eat.
That sounds like the opposite of a good reason.
And I
You
like
lose
it.
weight.
Boring.
If it works, it works.
Right, one at a time, guys. Vicky, what have you been up to? Really?
It's 2021. Have we been up to anything? I mean,
Well, in the years since you were on the Blade.
I no longer work in a theme park, so I can actually do things on Easter. Weird, right?
Hooray! Happy birthday, by the way.
Thanks.
I didn't forget.
Thanks for the shout out.
It's Vicky's 21st birthday, everyone.
Again.
Yes, it's strange
Yes.
that. I mean,
It's just
Sinister's got an
happening.
excuse. There's two of him. Seriously, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy
Yeah,
thingy.
Now
Happy
I work.
birthday.
Yes, don't forget the thingy.
Thingies are
but-
important.
Yeah, I now work in an office job. I do medical billing, and I volunteer at the zoo on weekends. So
Fair
I
enough.
haven't kidnapped any penguins or anything yet.
Oh, do you have penguins?
We do have penguins.
Oh, that is
What
so
flavour?
cool.
That's some Cumberbatch shout out right there.
That's
Penguins.
great. You can make Guinness.
Thank you, Sister Christian, for my birthday message.
Yeah.
See, I'm watching the chat too.
Oh, that's cool. That's good. That means you're down and with it with the kids. Apparently.
Sure.
I don't know. Right, who's next? Hang on a moment. It's Sinister next, I do believe. What
Hello.
have you been up to in the intervening years? Apart from giving me
Well,
cats.
Yeah, apart from giving you cats.
Yeah.
I've just been working on a small project. I teamed up with a research facility in China.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Unfortunately, things went slightly wrong.
I have to stop you there. I do have to stop you there because this means if you're going down that route, this means we have to do something else. Let me just see. Here we go. What are we going to blame Madge Arwell for this time?
The coronavirus, obviously. So yeah, this is it. This is what we've all been suffering from and with.
That's the coronavirus, is it?
It is. It's very friendly. Say hello.
Madge Arwell's to blame.
I love him.
God, this bloody video ident goes on forever.
I
Bloody
may have
Madge
the shot, but
Arwell.
I'm ready.
God
I
damn
don't
her.
remember. I don't remember the Madge Arwell ident.
You did me
I don't-
too. There's two Madge Arwell idents.
Is there?
There is, yes.
it's
So
6
yes,
years
so
since
we're
we did
blaming
the video,
COVID on
Chris.
Madge Arwell then.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah. Anything else
Why
gone
not?
wrong that is unexplained?
Brexit.
Yeah, that's Madge Arwell. And Trump was Madge Arwell in disguise. I'm sorry. It's the only thing I can imagine.
David Bowie. I mean,
Oh, well, you see,
David Bowie.
when Bowie died, that's what started it all.
Yeah, he unravelled the universe.
Yeah.
Did.
Was
Bowie didn't die. He just went home.
There is that, to be fair.
Planet.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's sinister. Let's keep going. Davies, apart from having an inordinate amount of heart attacks, what have you been up to over the past few years?
I wonder. I feel semi-retired. I don't know if I am. I'm not sure.
Oh, that's nice.
What have I done? 10 years?
Has it really been 10 years since we did it?
Is it? Oh, God.
I don't know. I'm asking you.
I can't remember. Well, you said the last decade.
Yes.
I don't
It was
know.
sometime.
What have I been doing? I've just been hanging around and doing whatever comes along my way. Like this book. I'm doing that. Yeah, 2016. 16 was not a good year.
No, no, it wasn't.
That was when I was quite ill.
Yes.
But then
Do you
by
need
the
light bulbs there, Davies?
I think that's
No,
very. I
I'm
think
doing
that's,
it deliberately to disguise my
it's
messy
atmospheric.
room behind me.
It's atmospheric.
He looks like Holly.
Kevin, I've avoided asking you this for God knows how long now, but how's the edit of that documentary going that we did? And he's frozen.
I drive. So it's... No, I haven't. Have I? Oh.
Yeah, I am joking, mate. Don't worry. Oh dear.
Oh, right. No, it's safely on a more usable hard drive now.
Ah.
So it's a step closer.
Yes. Yeah, that's nice.
don't
I'm
know
genuinely
what went
not
wrong
expecting
there.
it. You'll surprise me on that one.
One day you'll be surprised, yeah.
All right, so we've got Philip Hinchcliffe and... Is that Ian? Righty-ho. And we appear to have gone back to the 1970s and the Barry Letts era for Steve's CSO.
There's a giant maggot about to attack him as well.
Yes, yes. Oh, and Brian, you are getting fan mail in chat about how smart you look.
Well, hey.
Oh.
I said I was dressing up for this one. I went for it.
Waistcoats are cool. I mean, that's
Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, they're pretty snazzy.
Yeah, no, we like waistcoats. Okay, so that was Davies.
Where's the chat?
Steve, what have you been up to? Don't die on the anniversary show. And you're muted as well.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't. Well, that's traditional because I was always doing that when we were recording, and I've overcome that in recent years. But I did it then, especially. No, I was saying I
touched.
thought Ian should join us.
Yes, I agree. Totally. That's lovely.
So he's
That's
there.
the right picture.
Right, what have I done? Well, I have continued to organise Hooverville, and since then we've added Big Finish Day to what we organise as well. And I've done lots of writing, and I retired from my teaching, so I don't do that anymore. And writing. I can't tell you what it is, but I've just been commissioned to write an actual book for money. And I made my my DWM debut. I wrote a couple of pieces of DWM, so that was exciting. And then just 2 weeks ago, I'm probably not supposed to tell you this, but I recorded an edition of a popular ITV quiz show, which will be going out at some point.
Okay, Dominic, you'll need to have a little chat with him afterwards to get your foot in there. All right, if it's that one.
If it's that one.
If it's
Can
that
I
one.
ask, is it Runaround?
Oh, they're showing it and talking
if
pictures.
Only.
I've got my finger on the pulse of current TV stuff.
No, I'm too old. I was too old for Runaround when Runaround was a thing. So no, it's not that. No, I'm not allowed to say which one.
Tale of the century.
I'm not allowed to say.
From Norwich, it's the quiz of the week.
From Norwich.
Oh, bullseye! You get
No,
a speedboat. You get a speedboat.
Yes,
But they
yes.
said but I don't know when it'll be on, but they'll let me know 2 weeks in advance.
Nice.
That's
And
nice.
then I can let people know to avoid it. So yes,
That's not going to happen.
well, and what they've said is that it'll probably be shown quite soon because they don't want memories of the coronavirus to be lingering. So they're going to get through all their coronavirus specials
That sort of
with
makes
the
sense.
personal shields. and all that. They're going to get through those. So they said it'll probably be quite soon, maybe even this year.
Does this mean we're going to have to watch ITV?
Maybe. Yeah.
I already know. I already know. Won't say a word, but I already know.
How do you already know?
Because the way you said coronavirus specials. So,
well, I don't know.
He's a bit of a fan of a particular game show.
A particular show, I'm a bit of a super fan.
There's a fair few. There's a fair
Is it The
few.
Chase?
When you did go on
if
it,
it was, I
did you
wouldn't be able
turn?
to tell you.
Did you turn round to the host and basically go on, son, you're doing it at any stage?
I don't know.
Oh, we'll have to wait and see.
Well, if you look in messaging, you'll be able to see what it is.
I can't, unfortunately.
But don't anybody say it.
Unfortunately, that just came up. Zoom just put a little box up to say I'd received a message and told me what the message was. And of course, that got picked up by the. Forget we said anything, guys. It's gone. It's gone.
Delete it?
We don't. See, this is the perils of live broadcasting.
Steve, it's a double bluff, clearly. You wouldn't really put the name of it in.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
so it wasn't that at all.
Right, it's a false flag.
I thought that was just to us. How annoying.
So it's blankety blank.
Just admit it, it's Mulhern's one.
I'm saying not another word, because otherwise they can... no, I'm
right,
saying
fair
not
enough.
another word.
However, you're buying the coffee at the next Hooverville.
I didn't say I won anything.
I remember I was on a game show once, Fast Friends with Les Dawson. It was back in about 1990.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Do
I'm
they
glad
really
it doesn't
film-
exist anymore.
Do they really film that program at the top of the Empire State Building?
And quite frankly, the host, getting Peter Purves in to reprise.
Oh, that was sorry.
reprise.
I've just cottoned on to what you said. Sorry.
Sorry, I'm just looking at the chat. So we've had the Krypton Chip Factor 321. Oh, brilliant stuff. Keep going.
Yep.
Not there yet.
3, 2, 1. Dear God. Well, what you can do, if they introduce a phone a friend for 3, 2, 1, all right, call all of us on Zoom, and we will put our collective minds together to work out whatever the hell a questiony riddle thing is on 3, 2, 1.
I will
still be
employ
wrong.
the largest supercomputers known to mankind to try and uncover the encryption of the clues.
Yep. And
Well,
somehow it was always the bin.
These days we have Only Connect, which is the clever version of 321.
Oh, is it? Oh, right.
Well, it is, isn't
I've
it?
never
Where they're
seen it.
working out the strange connections between the
I know
objects.
Dave wanted us to go on at one point, me, him, and Adam.
Several of my friends have been on it, and they say it's an absolutely lovely thing to go on. They really enjoyed it.
Oh, sweet. That's nice. Gladiators. Was it Gladiators, Steve? Did you go on Gladiators, and were you ready?
No, thank you.
Okay. So I'm just
Is it
asking
Mr. and
because
Mrs.?
it's coming up in chat. Somebody, Kevin, did you ask where the chat was? Or who asked where the chat was?
Kevin.
It was Kevin.
Usual Twitch page, mate.
No, I've realised it's over on Twitch. Yeah.
You were expecting it on here, weren't you?
So
I got it. I worked it out.
The chat on the Zoom call here, that hasn't gone to anybody then.
Yes, it has.
How did it go? How does that happen?
Siobhan has screen share.
Siobhan accidentally hits the wrong button.
But it's gone now, hasn't it?
Yes,
But
it's gone now.
It's gone.
it's
now.
gone.
That's all right.
Basically,
worry about it.
I
it is.
stream the output of one monitor, which is the Zoom
Okay, gotcha.
thingy, which actually I can get rid of people's names now. Everybody's here. If I can work out how to. And
Thing is that Max, you'd only been on screen for like 5 seconds, and there will be no basic.
hang on a second. Are we doing a well? We can do. Attention, Mark Ellis. Attention, Mark Ellis. There we go. We've done one. I'm trying to work out how to get rid of this participants list, and it's all gone very badly wrong. There we go. That's it. There's more of us on the screen now.
Yes, but now so is the chat.
Well, yeah, no, it just came up as a little
There we
speech
go.
bubble. What?
Silly.
We're fine now. We're better.
Are
now.
we? I have no
Yes.
idea what's going on.
Just
None.
smile
I thought
and
that
nod.
was the
Time
point.
at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, so, Brian, what have you been up to since you left the Flash and Blade? All right, look, let's do it differently.
I
You
sent
had a good
Eddie
week,
something.
love. Have you had a good week, love?
I've had a great week. I sent Eddie a care package.
Is Ace okay?
Ace is doing wonderful.
This is good news.
The
Eddie,
blind doggy is fine.
how you doing, dude?
I'm fine. I don't know why I'm here. I was told this was the Easter garden of the Glasgow Collegiate Deep Fried Mars Bar Appreciation Society.
Yeah, we had to get you here somehow.
I was only here for
Do
the
you remember me, Brian and I talking about an intervention last week?
Oh, right. Was it me?
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just
Sorry.
saying. So
What have I been? I've been looking forward to this because the Flashing Blade with you and Joe was the first podcast I listened to. Bob joined, introduced me to Big Finish. Steve introduced me to Hoovers, and I nearly went to Hoovers last year, but then something totally stopped me from going. But I'm
COVID.
looking to go hopefully later on this year.
Yeah, good. You're very
and
welcome to join our Zoom meetings as well. Our weekly Zoom, 3 weekly Zooms. We're there. Everybody is.
Excellent.
So yeah.
That'll add that to my list of things to do.
Information on the Hoovers Facebook page. It's every 3 weeks. Next
Dominic?
week's the next one.
Dominic, love, what is
Hello.
this thing that I think begins with an N? You put up the petition about it yesterday to do with the new Doctor Who. Is it a mobile game?
Oh yes, the trading card game.
Tell me what is the actual problem? Because I tried to look these
Okay.
things up and it just looks like
Yeah.
a Bitcoin derivative.
Yeah, so the thing with NFT, so basically for
Yes.
maximum context, there was a game called Doctor Who Worlds Apart that's got, well, it hasn't even been released yet. However, it's come out that they're charging very extortionate prices for the actual cards
Yes.
themselves.
Goodness, yes.
It's going up to about $1 million
Yes.
for a
Yes,
digital trading card for something that you can't even really own.
It's
the
a
main
non-frangible thingy.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
an intellectual property that they still own. You just have access to it.
Yeah,
No,
essentially, they
actually,
sell-
with an NFT, you own it, but it goes through blockchain to prove ownership.
I don't know what that means.
Alleged, and also I read that the amount of processing power required to actually run this thing is insane.
Yes. Yes.
It's just the problem.
That's
isn't it?
yeah.
So that's
that is
how it connects
amazing.
with the environment. Thank you. I was looking for that connection. Yeah. Avoid. What's it called? Doctor Who.
Doctor Who Worlds Apart.
Don't play it, guys. All right.
Well,
boycott-
unless you're very
boycott time.
keen on wiping out polar bears, which is an argument, of course. but-
Yes.
Yeah.
And,
if you want to burn down the Amazon rainforest.
Lilibet's just said the truth. It means people have more money than sense. Yes, of course they have.
Of course they have.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like these scalpers who get the Blu-rays and chuck them up at extortionate prices. People will still buy them.
Well, it's like when, well, I don't know, 10 years ago when people were spending £100 plus on the Golden Rose Battles in Time card, weren't they? Which a small piece of cardboard about so big, where people were spending 100 of your Earth pounds on it when they could have got a picture of Billy Piper off the internet for nothing.
Right now, long time. Get ready, Joe. Long term viewers of the Flashing Blade. I say viewers, listeners of the Flashing Blade will remember that back in the early days, we had a Latvian soap opera called As the Action Happens. It was dubbed. That couldn't be helped. I mean, because we got it in the original Latvian, and it needed to be dubbed. And Joe and I, this is going to go so wrong, Joe and I are going to do a live edition of As the Action Happens.
Fantastic.
Oh, God, I remember this.
Oh, this is going to go so wrong for us. I've tried
Here,
to.
I'm just going to do this.
Right, okay. Here comes the music. As the action happens. Ends. Rosita!
Yes.
What is it that I have long grey hair around my face?
You need a haircut. And some water.
Doing this voice after so long, it kills the throat. But we have been in lockdown. How can we get a haircut?
I do not know. I've got some shears.
Oh, I remember what happened last time to Alexi.
We do not speak of Alexi.
No. Moving on, quickly. Could you...
definitely needs water.
Yes.
I'm not sure what accent this is.
I have no idea either. Okay. Why not
No
look it up
fixable.
in the Book of Numbers,
Book of Numbers. Yellow pages.
if you insist?
That. What? The Book of Numbers? Like the Book of Dreams? The Argos catalogue?
No, we do not go near the Argos catalogue. I know where their click and collect place is.
No.
Croydon!
No!
Will Dr. Ramirez succeed? What did happen to Alexis? And just where is Harold's tuba? Tune in next time in another 15 years.
Too soon.
Oh, God,
was
that
extraordinary.
killed me. That absolutely... I should have practiced.
You literally killed Vicky.
Well, I thought Bob had died as well.
You know what? That the years since that, since the last episode of that, the quality has not dipped.
Not dipped. No, not at
It's
all.
still at the same level of quality.
Absolutely.
It's got a better budget nowadays and more modern technology. That's what I like about it. It's shot in videotape, you know. What's happened to Vicky?
She ran off in
You
terror.
killed her.
I'm not surprised, quite frankly.
Oh.
Oh dear, we haven't done that in so many years.
I
She
can't
may be
imagine
waiting
why.
to come back in.
Oh, hang on, does it do that? She can't just come straight back in. Oh, I don't understand.
Blown away by the sheer awesomeness of.
There's awesomeness. Anyway, we got to move on. Everyone sitting comfortably.
It's a new level of awesomeness.
Everyone sitting comfortably? Are we all ready?
Oh, dear God.
Yeah, that's good. You seem quite happy there, Bob.
While since I've heard that, and I just wasn't prepared.
All right, Jiho. So, what is it you've got? You've got an office chair. I can sort of see something just over your left shoulder. You see? Ah, there we go. Yes, there's the neck rest for it.
Office chair, yeah.
It looks really nice.
It's actually one of the older ones that we've got around the house. So
You keep it basically because it's what you're used to. It's what your body basically.
You have a large collection.
Yeah. So, would you say it's pleasant to sit on?
around the house. So
Would you say it's pleasant to sit on?
yes,
How would you describe that chair then?
I see what you're doing. And
Yes, I thought you might be. One last time.
oh, go on, as it's you. I'd describe it as comfy.
Yes!
Fast!
Yes! I'm sorry, we're hitting all the old notes. None of them will be as funny as that very first time, though. It was
I've still never forgiven you
The
for
old
that.
notes not necessarily in the right order. Sorry, I had to do an Eric and Ernie.
Yeah, quite right too. Oh, Vicky, where are you, my love? Oh dear.
Blinking episode.
Hmm?
Ever since that blinking episode of Doctor Who, it's haunted me all these years.
It's funny you said blink.
have you
That got
messaged
angels in
Vicky?
it as well. I
Have
don't
you
know.
messaged Vicky? Message her.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Send her a
How
message. See
do I
where she
message-
is.
Oh, hang on. How do I
Well,
send
send
her
her a
a message when she's not actually in chat anywhere?
Well, send her a message on Messenger.
Oh,
She's
Facebook.
on
Facebook.
Twitch.
Fastbook.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. Fastbook.
Yeah.
Siobhan, she's on Twitch. She's rebooting her internet.
Ah, thank you. You see, this is why I have intelligent people around me.
Absolutely.
Indeed. Means I don't have to think. I like this. Ah, dear. Right, so, and now, from the worlds of Doctor Who, providing I can actually find the right bloody thing, it's Doctor Who. After all these years, we're still using that piece of music. Ah, dear. So it's a case of what are we going to do? The last thing... I'm aware, Vicky. There's a full moon this weekend. That would explain it. Yes. So it's a case of, well, what are we going to do? Because people, have lives. They don't have time to, apart from Eddie and Brian, obviously, they don't have time to actually sit down and watch and listen to things and everything else like that. So I thought, well, tell you what, just as something to hang the conversation around, we'll talk about Day of the Doctor, because I don't think the Flashing Blade has ever reviewed the Day of the Doctor. Sinister, we didn't look at the Day of the Doctor, did we?
Before the Vidiprog was being done, I think.
What about on the podcast?
It's entirely possible. I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't think we did.
All right,
you might have mentioned this just more than a little earlier than an hour before we started recording.
I'm going to be honest with you. I thought everybody would be familiar with it.
I sat myself down and watched it in the hour and a quarter leading up to it.
Oh, then you've had an hour and a half of pure joy.
I fell asleep in the middle, sadly, but yeah.
That's what roast dinners will do to you.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Thank God we can't actually get the other effect. Right, so we're still waiting on Vicky, but I don't know how to start this. Look, go and read the Target novelisation because it's bloody brilliant. There we go. Day of the Doctor. Who wants to talk about Day of the Doctor?
Can I just ask
yes.
why the TARDIS has got grab handles underneath it?
Just in case. It's a bit like Baba Papa, okay? So it's the box, but just like underneath it, you just go, and suddenly you got handles.
Yeah, I mean, that's been bugging me for quite a while.
Yeah, on that note as well, I have no idea how the physics of the 11th Doctor falling out of the TARDIS and then somehow
coming under and grabbing it. Yes.
And
acrobatics.
Plummeting to the to his rather gruesome grisly death. I'm not entirely sure how we pulled that off, but okay.
He's a Time Lord, the gravity works a bit different for him.
Gets a double jump.
Well, we've seen him plummet out of a spaceship through a glass roof.
I was about to say
and
that.
we've also seen her fall from space into a train. So
yet he couldn't survive a fall from a radio station dishy thing.
Yeah, or indeed falling over when falling off an exercise bike. When the TARDIS judders.
This has been a slight source of joy. If you've got the recent Target books, as well as some of the hardbacks that they've come out with, they have the changing face of Doctor Who in it. And some of the reasons for the Doctor changing are quite fun. I think City of Death basically sort of said the cover illustration portrays the fourth Doctor Who lost a fight with gravity. And it's just little things like that. And you can tell that's Vicky.
This is my fourth Doctor theory. My theory is that we see the Doctor using a yo-yo quite a lot, and I think he knew that gravity was going to do him in the end, and he was testing the gravity every time.
Very wise. Very wise. It should have done it more, quite frankly. So, Vicky, we're talking about Day of the Doctor.
I know, I've been watching.
Where did everybody watch the Day of the Doctor?
On the telly.
Oh, at home on the telly, yeah?
Yeah, at home on the telly.
I've regretted that ever since.
Depends on which time.
The first time, when it was shown on the anniversary.
Oh, first time, yeah.
Yeah.
I
BBC America.
I convinced myself that it was a television thing and I should watch it on television.
Oh, no, actually, the first time I watched it on BBC One.
Yes, but were you at home on your telly?
No, I was watching on the computer.
Bloody Americans! No offence, Vicky.
That hurts my feelings.
Oh, I'm sorry if you think your feelings
what can
are
I
hurt.
say?
Okay. Bob, where did you say?
On BBC One at home, I cleared the schedule and everything.
Davies?
I was with friends at the big do at the XL, and but I didn't go into the screening. I was in the pub next door to the XL.
Was that the XL? Was that a Microsoft event?
Oh
God!
You appear to be running a Doctor Who convention. Would you like some help with that?
Yeah, Jeremy Bentham had organised sort of booked the whole pub for the fans to come out of the XL Centre and come and spend time. So there was a couple of hundred in there at least, and it was difficult to find a seat where you could see any of the screens. So my son Liam and I ended up sitting on stools looking at a TV behind the bar. But it was the atmosphere in the pub with everyone egging it on and enjoying every little twist and turn, and the roar of approval when that voice spoke.
You know, I really think you might.
Yes, and that was just fantastic to experience everyone's electric excitement. It was amazing.
Hang on a second, Eddie, put the book down.
You
I'm sorry, that's the sort of book you need to read in the toilet.
said read the book. I'm on page 6.
It's a very, very, very good book.
I like Steve, I could appreciate a bit more notice than just a few minutes before the show to start reading the book.
I'm terribly sorry, I should have mentioned that. See, I didn't realise you had Target books.
I've got one.
Oh, right, I've got another one to send to you. No, seriously, I have. I ended up buying 2 of them by accident.
Oh, good, thank you.
So, dear. Yeah, I was at the local cinema with the Staggering Stories crew. That was a fun day. I think they had, is it Simon Fisher Becker? He'd come down to sign things and whatever. And oh dear, I was a bit sharp with somebody and I shouldn't have been, but there was a beautiful police box and it looked like a police box, not the TARDIS. And they kept telling everybody it was the original one. I might have rather loudly disagreed with them. Oh dear. It's like the Who Shop's TARDIS isn't actually from Doctor and the Daleks. It's from one of the other studios, because you got Shepperton, Ealing, etc. Daleks 63 to 88 basically tracked the history because each studio had their own police box prop for films, and they managed to work it out as one of the other studios' police boxes.
Now, the one in the Who Shop was originally belonged to, it belonged to Mark Sinclair and was used by the DWAS drama department. And it was at all the early conventions, all the very first few Panopticons.
That's where that beautiful box came from.
But Mark never said
we'll never know.
Studio. He was never very consistent about whether it was Elstree, Shepperton, or Pinewood.
That's it, Pinewood. That was the other one.
The years he's mentioned all of them.
Well, like I say, Dalek 63 to 88.
His father bought it for him.
Oh,
yeah.
Lucky. I mean, some people get a sports guy, he gets a beautiful police box. Well, not I prefer. You can pretend in the police box.
There's an interesting story about his Dalek as well.
Go on.
Fred the Dalek, which was the DWAS's first Dalek that belonged to Mark. He never let on where he got it from, but it was obvious it was based on the Radio Times 10th anniversary plans, because it was, that inaccurate. But its silhouette looked very familiar. To anyone who did see the Radio Times 10th anniversary special, the photograph of a bunch of school kids who had built one, that was Fred the Dalek.
Wow. We have tracked down part of the Holy Tome. All praise the 10th anniversary special. All praise. I've still got my original copy. I've got myself another copy because the original one's a little bit battered, but it's in a folder safe. It's yes, that's the holy text.
I kept borrowing it from a friend at school.
It was reprinted for the 50th, wasn't it? As well.
For the 50th, was it the 50th?
Was it?
It was reprinted at some stage. I think DWM reprinted it.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Oh Lord. Anyway, so yes, the 11th Doctor Who, possibly. I don't know. And his Blackie Gale assistant, Clara, Impossible Oswald. They literally land in Trafalgar Square, where they're met by a fangirl and the daughter of his oldest friend. And there's a bit of a problem to do with art. That's how to grab the audience, you see. There's a picture. Now, if this is a fake written across it, that really would have done the job. So come on then. There's the Doctor. Memories of not just that, but the stuff leading up to it, like the little mini-sode as well as Night of the Doctor with McGann.
That was terrific, wasn't it?
I think I was probably more excited about the McGann thing.
That was pretty exciting.
It was apropos, wasn't it?
I had that semi-spoilt for me. I didn't know it was McGann that had come back, but I knew there was something big had happened in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was absolutely gobsmacked when it was McGann. And I loved how it kind of introduced all his Big Finish companions into it. I think
Made
that's
canon.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It was quite widely rumoured, wasn't it, that that McGann was going to be doing something.
Didn't reach these ears.
No,
So it meant I was
I heard
unspoiled watching it. It was just...
I did hear it. But I am a doctor, but maybe not the one you were expecting. I mean, just as you said that line off camera, and then you recognised that.
I was
voice
just winking
instantly.
at the audience, wasn't it? It was.
Yeah, it was lovely. It was lovely. And that is an episode of Doctor Who, isn't it? Even though it's a short episode, that is an episode on its own, a discrete episode of Doctor Who.
It's shorter than Dimensions in Time.
Yeah, yeah. But there's as much story packed into that very short episode.
Well, I'm thinking if such a short story is canonical, surely Dimensions in Time is canonical. And what about Search Out Signs?
I think this episode is also really good for non-Who fans. I think you can watch it and not really have to know the ins and outs behind it. I think you don't have to know the story arcs, and I think you can just enjoy it for the romp status.
You think people would be able to click on all the Time War stuff and the like? It's a case of that's not too important, really. We know there's something going on here, but
the cards are all on the table. If you didn't know the background information, they give you enough to go, you can survive the episode and enjoy it rather than feel left out. So I think that's what I like about the episode. And also every time I watch it, it makes me know why I like Matt Smith's Doctor so much, which I didn't. It does depend on what story he's doing. There are some stories he's better at, but this one, and especially him and Tom, they just light up the stage, light up the screen, and certainly him and Tennant. And there's lots of moments where I just smile, and certainly when Tom appears, I remember at the time just clapping and sort of laughing and going, oh my, just going a bit apeshit, basically, pardon my French, but just going a bit mad and just thinking it was so joyous. It was just full of joy, just that moment. But I have to ask a question. It's burning a hole in my head. Why were the High Council playing Pong? There is a scene where it's from above and it's pew 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 pew, and it looks suspiciously like Atari's Pong. I'm just saying.
Something to do in it.
I want to go back and double check that now.
That answers that question. Also, I love the set. I mean, obviously John Hurt. I mean, again, it was kind of like wow. But the set, whether in the cabin type thing, it also, I think it's beautiful. And I think Billie Piper actually acts her socks off. I think I love her interpretation of this thing. But I love the cabin because it also reminds me of the Kate Bush video for Suspended in Gaffer. I know it's a bit nerdy, but it's a very sort of cabin.
You got a Kate Bush reference in.
I had to. Just watching it because I started watching yesterday and then I did fall asleep just because I'm old, and sort of watched it again today. And it was kind of like, oh god, that reminds me of the Suspended in Gaffer. But the most important thing is, if any of you've watched BBC Staged with David Tennant and Michael Sheen, which is absolutely amazing. When the John Hurt credit came up, me and Wynne just went, and notwithstanding John Hurt. If you've not seen Staged, highly recommend it. But it's this whole thing where they're having the argument of who's going to be credited, get their name credited first, and it's the and withstanding, introducing, and so when John Hurt popped up, it was kind of notwithstanding.
Well, the thing
that brought back some memories. Working with you, that was lovely. Guys, I don't know how to put this. We've got 11 people watching.
Wow,
double digits.
It's got to be some sort of fault, surely.
Is it a mistake?
I don't know. It says 1-1. It could be. I don't know. What is 1-1 in binary?
Are we down to 1?
No, we
that's
got
all?
11. We got 11 apparently. But
Can I just
1
add,
and 1.
can I just
But
add,
there's 11 of us.
So that's 2.
no, there's 11 viewers. So my device tells me.
can I just add
think
something
it
else as
lies.
well? Is the picture board when they're in the not the under gallery, or is it the under? No, the archives. I
Black
can't remember.
Archive. Yep.
The picture board, the shot where they pan to the Brigadier, looking very handsome and lovely, and the hat at a jaunty angle, and it just, there's so many moments where I go, oh, that's so sweet. They've incorporated him in there. They've got him in. And-
Again, I'd recommend reading the Target novelisation. It is a very, very good book. It's pure Stephen Moffat through and through. And there's
Eddie's
a
trying,
lot
but you made him stop.
no,
Might
Joe.
be.
Joe,
I
I'm
know,
saying.
really?
Told me not to. I was really getting into it as well.
This is, well, it's for all of you, but it's mostly
It's
for
a
Joe.
very good.
You know what? If you can get hold of the book and read it, because there's a lot of tips of the hat to the Brigadier in it. It's
And my little bit at the end, because I did scribble notes, because again, it wouldn't be traditional if I
it's a
didn't.
Joe note.
And at the end, I've just put the curator, and I just put next to it a heart. I mean, just that's as soon that I do remember when we watched it either on iPlayer or live, and when I heard his voice, and I thought, oh my god, they haven't. Oh my god, they have, and it's Tom, and I just thought it was perfect. Just thought it was full of joy.
We've had a question asked in chat. Right. If you had to pick an episode to get someone into Doctor Who, which one would you pick? Bob?
An episode or a story?
A story, I would have thought. Bob, which one would you pick?
Oh, that's a hard question. A good jumping on point.
Yeah. Something to grab somebody and actually make them want to sit down and watch more. Okay, we'll come back to you. Davies is trying to pick you one of those. Yes, Davies?
I would say Time Warrior, because you get to meet the Doctor through Sarah Jane's eyes. You then get to enjoy a season, and very quickly you'll get to see the regeneration into Tom Baker. And if you like all of that stuff, and if you actually quite liked John Pertwee and you miss him, you can always go back and see the other stuff. But I've always thought that was a good jumping on point.
The trouble I've always found Series 11 is it's a rather tired production. I've always felt. I think they hit their high spot with Series 10, and I mean Pertwee himself just looks knackered.
Well, they'd lost Delgado by that point as well.
Yeah. Vicky, come on. Let's do this as a two-parter. Classic Who and New Who. So pick 2 episodes, one from each.
I can't answer in 2 parts because I don't feel like I know Classic Who well enough.
Oh,
Most
first
of
one
what
for the
I watched
evening.
was through you
First
guys.
one.
Here
It's
we
the
go.
first one for the evening. There it is, ladies and gentlemen.
I am a New Who, okay? And I apologize for that.
That's, oh, dear me. I don't know how long I can leave that up there before it burns into my screen.
Most of the ones I watched with you guys. Y'all made me watch Time Lash, okay?
That's all right. I've done it to the others.
They did
as well.
the same thing to us too. Don't worry about it.
You deserved it.
It's
you
horrible.
killed Spider-Man.
Now, okay. Let me put it like this.
Okay, yeah, I did.
Quite.
You did.
I
You
did
deserved
kill
it.
Spider-Man.
It's just Eddie had to suffer as well.
I think if you're going to try and hook someone, you should start with New Who. Simply because, first of all, it's still running, so they can go ahead and hop right in. And secondly, because production value is better these days. And with people watching current series, they're used to that. So
Fine point
you
being
should start
made.
with New Who. And it should be The Empty Child and Dr. Dances.
May I disagree?
You may. You're wrong, but you may.
Well, I would say start them on Rose. Because as with the Time Warrior, you're seeing it through the companion's eyes, discovering it as... And then you can then skip to The Empty Child.
Okay. I hear you. I acknowledge you.
Thank you. Have the talking stick.
However, I have done this with others and gotten, wait, when does it get good?
Ooh.
And I am saying this as a massive Rose Tyler fangirl. A massive Ninth Doctor fangirl. Mickey turns into a plastic bin.
I thought you were going to say
Sorry.
something else. That started off sounding like a different word.
Could have been. But no, it's don't get me wrong, it's a fun episode. And I like where you're going with it. You are meeting a brand new companion, you're meeting a doctor through, a new viewer's eyes. It makes sense logically, sure. But it's not a great episode.
Maybe not, but again, I'd turn around and say you can't show something straight off the bat like The Empty Child and The Doctor Dancers, because not all Doctor Who's up to that quality. Therefore, there'll be disappointments.
I think that's also
But that's
the
why you want to
problem
start
with,
them on a high note so they can accept the low note.
I think that's also the problem with starting on the new series, because if you start people off with the great the production values of the new series, then it becomes very, very difficult subsequently to introduce them to the old series. I agree with you about Rose, though. Great
The
start.
thing is, we're elderly dinosaurs now. We're the people we used to mock back in the day. Yeah, Dominic, come on, you're young.
Yeah.
What do the youth say?
Honestly, since it's a two-part question, I'd say it does depend on who you're introducing it to. I mean, if somebody that has an interest in older sci-fi, then certainly you can feel free to jet them into the classic series right off the bat. If I were to recommend a classic series episode, personally, I would go with Spearhead from Space, because that way you would introduce the Doctor, basically, because that was
It was another stepping on point, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a stepping on point for the new era. Reintroduced the unit, reintroduced the Doctor, introduced a new companion, all like that. It was essentially the 11th hour of his day. And I really like that episode as well. We got the Autons as well, and it takes that aspect of having a very Earth-based thing that everybody just doesn't really pay a second glance at, and making it rather intimidating. And
it looks amazing being on film.
Hang on, I think Bob wants to break in.
I was about to say, Spearhead from Space. It's one of the. It's a good jumping on point because it is a complete and utter fresh start. In most of the other regenerations, you get a companion go over to the new Doctor, and if you started any other new Doctor, you've got someone who you're going. Well, hang on a minute, who's this? Whereas Spearhead from Space, it's a complete new start.
You don't have to start with a Doctor's first one, though, do you? To be fair, I mean, I think I'd probably choose Terror of the Autons ahead of that, where you get to again meet the Doctor through Joe's eyes, and it's a very straightforward and simple story.
Plus, it gets you used to bad CSO.
Well, okay.
And farty Moog music.
The other one that from old series, from classic series, that occurred to me was Terror of the Zygons. Which again, you don't need to know who these people are. You don't need to know who Sarah Jane and Harry, and for that matter the Doctor are, because you get it pretty quickly who they are. And then again, it's a nice, straightforward, easy story.
Well, you're saying that, and I've got to admit, I do tend to agree with you up to a point here. It's something we touched on last week when we looked at the Web of Fear. The fact that, quite frankly, it's as if it wasn't made for children. It could easily have stood up as a drama in its own right, later on in the evening on BBC One. And I'm thinking Terror of the Zygons could be another one like that.
Very much so.
Yeah, it's funny how different it seems nowadays, the way that the different ways of making television, the way it's all changed. There's something Briglover's put in chat. The old series might not have had the production values in CGI, but the stories were good, heartbreaking, and fun, and that's what draws you in.
Of course.
And I think I'm not a great one for the fast pace of the modern era stories. That's why I appreciate the two-parters. Yes, sorry.
I was just going to
say... Jo has her hand up, so...
Oh, there's a hand up.
Yes, if you want to put your hand up.
He just remembered it, sorry. Oh no, I think Eddie had his hand. You've had your hand
Goodness.
Stop it, all of you.
Ladies first,
Hands
Joe.
everywhere.
Ladies
F-
first.
The first
let her go
lady of the
first.
flashing blade first. Please, you go first.
The old lady, the old dear.
First lady.
Show them how it's done, love.
All right, dear. Oh no, I think in answer to the original question, I think I can't think of any particular old story except I love City of Death, but I'm biased because it's very Douglasy, sprinkling all over it. But I think the way I'd compare it to is Sapphire and Steel. When I was very young, I remember watching Sapphire and Steel at the time. I had a massive crush on David McCallum, and I wanted to be Jonah Lumley.
Didn't you watch the last episode first?
No, that's I killed off what's it?
Blake Seven.
I killed off Blake Seven.
Yeah, we don't say anything about that because Brian doesn't know what happens.
No. So, but I just remember when I was very young, I remember going, oh, I love this program, but I didn't know anything about it because I was very, very young. And then when I got older, I had access, I got the DVD. And I remember thinking, my God, the episodes are long, and they stretched it out because it was weekly. And I think people's viewing habits, if you've got somebody now to watch an old Who, never mind the production values, never mind everything else, it's the recapping and the dragging out of stories. I think people might not be quite so, oh, well, this is boring. They would give up maybe 2 episodes in, whereas now stories and everything are neatly compacted. And I'm not saying that's good or bad. It's just maybe what people are used to. And if you said to somebody, this is a 6-parter, they'd be going, oh my God.
However, saying that, and this brings us back onto something we've been banging about on the Blade since the first episode. Context. These shows were not made to be binge watched. They were made to be watched 1 episode a week with a cliffhanger at the end. There was no video recorders back when it certainly started.
If you wanted to get somebody into it now, they're not used to that era. They're used to downloading, watching.
So show them one episode at a time.
Yeah. But also lots of recapping because each episode's drawn out because it wasn't meant to be watched in that way. It was meant to be watched. I mean, I think there is scope. I do like watching some old stuff, irrespective of whether it's Who, where there is room to breathe and it isn't all kind of quickly run, and the story is galloping so fast that you think that character wouldn't do that reaction because it's too fast. They haven't invested in their other characters in their universe, in their world, in the story, and they're suddenly reacting. They're suddenly doing stuff you think that wouldn't happen. But so I think I personally, I'm of the age where I do remember longer episodes of things where you did have room to breathe. But I think in answer to the question, if you're trying to get somebody now into it, I mean, I knew people who were into New who when Tennant left were like, it's boring. They were just like, oh, it's just, and there was the story arcs, and it was Moffat being super clever, and I don't know. I think some people just have the patience to watch older episodes where things are slower and it's just a different pace. I do think Rose is a good first episode. I also I've got a soft spot for the one on the Orient Express, the train.
Mummy on the Orient Express.
I quite like that, but again, I just like the whole sort of murder on a train thing. I don't know, but I think definitely City of Death, just because I have a soft spot for it, and it just makes me smile. I think it's
fair enough. That's what they basically. That was the one story that shone to, I think, Julie Gardner. I think when she was boning up on Doctor Who before they were starting work on Series 1, and that was the one that stood out. And that's what they tried to base the show around, which brave approach, trying to sort of ape Douglas Adams, but they didn't ape Douglas Adams, but the sense of joy in the programme.
It's sprinkling of
the
sort of DNA or the essence of the kind of fun, and he could switch between dramatic and so the bit I remember springs to mind is when he trips over the chair, I think, or no, he's pushed over and says something like, oh, how beastly or how lovely, or the thug,
splendidly violent.
Yeah, something.
A wonderful butler. He's so violent.
Yes, and that to me was like, oh, that's completely unnecessary. But it's a sprinkling of it's unnecessary, but very, very witty, fast, quick.
Again, read the book. Because the book's brilliant.
Talking Talking to book.
I think Davy's hamster has died.
Oh dear.
Are you there, Kevin? Talk to us.
I
Didn't
am.
hear that, Kevin.
I am. Talking to books, I was saying. Joe, if you like Douglas Adams.
Here we go. Here we go. I was gonna plug this for you.
Let him plug it then.
I don't think you can.
I think you may have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kevin, your internet's a little bit bingy bongy.
Yeah,
Kevin's
it's-
got a
I'm getting it all broken
Kickstarter.
up, yeah.
Yeah, it's my first Kickstarter contribution, Kevin. So
Thank
It's basically Kevin, you're stopping and starting. It makes it rather difficult. So
Evan, look out for the orbs. Is your spirit guide, Sam? Is he helping you at all, or because something's interfering with your?
Have the Greys landed yet? Are they coming for you?
it's it quantum.
I've got to go. Thank you, Joe.
what was it? What was I saying?
The book. The book.
Book.
The book. The plug.
The book.
Yes, we're basically saying, Kevin, you're stable at the moment. What is the Kickstarter?
No, he's just stable. He's just frozen.
No,
It's
he's
frozen
just-
again. Oh God. Okay, basically, Kevin's got access to the Douglas Adams archive. He's putting together what I think, certainly from the sounds of it, it's going to be one of the most complete dossiers on Douglas Adams. Now, the Kickstarter has been going a very short amount of time, and almost immediately they met their goal. They've now doubled it. As far as I know, they've doubled it. It might even be trebled. I want to know what the stretch goals are. Quadrupled.
Wow.
What is the
4
stretch
books then,
goals?
Kevin. 4 books.
I don't know. It's down to the publishers.
Okay, fair enough. That's true. But I
Sounds
mean,
special though. It does sound very special.
it does sound, and coming
will
from
be.
somebody like you who has, well, known Douglas and basically been involved over the years, right from the TV show, it's I have a feeling it's going to be somewhat good.
That's what swayed me, because I just felt it would be in good hands. The legacy
you.
and anything that's there, I just think it's in safe hands. So yeah, good.
Davies, what's the name for the Patreon? It says patreon.com/
No, it's Kickstarter.
that one, Kickstarter. Yes.
Yeah, or there's a separate fundraising going on at Unbound's own site.
Oh,
Publishers Unbound.
might be easier to go for the Kickstarter one. What's the name for it on there? Oh dear.
The whole
You'll
this is
never know.
Mm.
Tune in next week.
Yes.
Only 42.
It's an awkward time to freeze.
Right, Kevin, what name is it under? You froze. Sorry. I think he's frozen again.
I'll see if I can find it. Hold on.
It'll be on his Facebook page, won't it? It'll have... Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the High
42
Standards.
The Improbable Ideas of Douglas Adams.
That sounds like...
That's the one.
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
So you're only allowed to put 42 ideas in there, then? Or are you
I
going to be
see
like...
what you did there.
Thank you very much.
I think-
But
I
it
think
does... It doesn't
back and
matter,
forth
though.
repartee isn't going to work, is it?
It doesn't matter, though, when you think about it. Because
It's going to be
Douglas
300.
had a trilogy in 6 parts.
Kevin, I do have to ask, as a Douglas fan, are you going to have, with the funding and everything, is it to fund baths? Is it to fund
Fund
having
what?
multiple baths? Because wasn't
Baths.
Douglas, famous for having
Multiple baths, yeah.
will it add to the kind of bubble bath?
Have you proofed yourself against whooshing? You've got your
Well,
special
if you
helmet
can
on.
Still hear me? Can you hear me?
We can hear you,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah. It's going to. We're talking about this was Douglas's brother's idea. James Thrift said we ought to, deliberately miss the deadline.
No,
And so I think what we ought to do is announce a deadline that we're all going to admit immediately that it's not going to meet. And then on that day, have a Zoom party where we all cheer as the whoosh goes by.
Hooray! Yes, I like that.
all of you in the
Douglas
bath.
Adams always used to say, "I love deadlines, and I love seeing them whoosh by."
Yeah, I want to get Rubber Duck for that now.
Yes.
I think it's important because you're
So,
never alone
but
with
there's
them.
also, yeah, we had last year there was a do just before the first lockdown. We had a big event at the British Library for Douglas Adams and Hitchhikers, which was the anniversary, the 42nd anniversary of the first radio broadcast. But British Library are talking about doing another event for early next year. March the 11th next year will be Douglas's virtual 70th. So we might mark that in some way.
That's a nice idea. Brian, I've put the link to the Kickstarter for this in Twitch chat.
Thank you very much.
That's
Siobhan,
all right.
I got to go now. So
That's all right.
Lovely to see everyone.
Yes,
Thank you
very much so. Thank you.
Kevin.
Thanks for the plug.
That's all right, love. I'm just glad you made it. We had everybody here. I'm
that
happy.
was lovely.
Yeah,
All right,
thank
mate.
you.
Take care.
Take care,
Very
sweetheart.
last
Bye.
notice.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. It
Bye.
was very last night. It was a case of trying to work out. I honestly thought it would be like herding kittens, if I'm honest with you, trying to pin down
He
the
actually
day and
did
time.
say that to us.
Yeah, but no, we've somehow managed. Quite remarkable. Oh, are you off, Christian? Thank you for tuning in. Right, so where were we?
Bob's getting pins and needles. We see
Yes,
his
Bob's
up
hand
for the
is
Yeah,
last
up.
Bob,
4 hours.
Bob's been trying to.
Bob, your Lego hand is up. Come on, tell us.
We were talking about how I've lost my train of thought. We were talking about how not binge watching Who and taking them as they are. I've got a counterpoint to that. I mean,
Oh, please.
when it first started airing, I really wasn't a fan of Peter Capaldi's Doctor. But
I'm sorry.
He's dead to me. He's dead.
I'm
Oh.
sorry.
I'm with you.
Listen, hear me
I'm
out.
with you, Rob. I'm with you, Bob. In the very first few episodes, I didn't want him. No, I'm with you. Keep going. You've got one
I
support.
support you, Bob.
on the first go round when it was week to week, I got very annoyed of him asking, am I a good man? Am I a good man every week? And it's once he finished and he'd left, and you could kind of binge watch his entire journey and seeing the progression in a shorter sitting, from him being the one that really didn't understand the niceties to his whole thing of doing stuff was to be kind and to be nice. And he's now one of my favourite doctors. And it's because I classify him as the binge watch doctor, because I just find it's easier and you notice things a lot more in a binge watch than you do week to week.
You make a lot of sense here. I apologise. I was talking about binge watching the classic series rather than the new series, but you make excellent points. Yeah.
Capaldi's the only one of the modern Doctors that I genuinely miss. I mean, I love Jodie.
I do miss him.
Jodie's great, but I really miss Capaldi.
I miss Smith. I really miss Smith. Smith's my modern Doctor.
I miss different ones for different reasons. I think with Capaldi, I think there could have been one more series out of him, but I've got a soft spot for Peter Capaldi anyway. I think he's lovely.
Yeah.
I'd
my
like
favourite of the moderns.
Kevin saw his back once.
I'd be interested in I don't particularly like this current regime of whenever the Doctor changes, we get a new producer in or whatever. I'd like to have seen Smith or Capaldi with another producer for a year.
Apparently Tennant came very close to
Very
staying
close,
doing
yes.
another year with Moffat.
Interesting how the story arc sort of changed slightly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
I just think it would be interesting to see what another producer could get out of those.
I agree with you.
There were politics.
Oh, 200%.
There were politics. It is rumoured, and we don't know the truth of the matter, do we?
No, of
but
course
it's
not.
rumoured that when they approached Chris Chibnall, that one of his conditions was, I get to cast my own Doctor, who will be a lady Doctor. So I think Peter was shafted, to be fair.
Yeah, I've got. I mean, the thing about Peter Capaldi is he's got the reverse Garibaldi going on. Okay, now you can judge when an episode of Babylon 5 was broadcast, which season it's from the length of Mr. Garibaldi's hair or lack thereof. With Capaldi, it's the other way round till you get to Twice Upon a Time when there's serious floofage. And then that Christmas, Mark Gatiss did a space goat story, which is a goat in space. Do you see? Yes, a ghost story where Capaldi turns up with this huge, long, curly wig, grey wig.
Do you remember when he was younger? He had long, in Vicar of Dibley when he plays the Songs of Praise director to town. I mean, that's not even the longest hair he's had. And he's naturally curly. And it's just like, yeah, he did go all
floofy.
But,
I recently watched that episode, and I never knew it was him until I rewatched it a while back. And then I'm going, oh my God.
Yeah, he's quite...
There's a lot of stuff from the 90s and whatever.
And his girlfriend, and I've just realised because I watched some of the, the episode where it's the sister, the Irish actress playing like the space church. She's the sister or whatever.
Yes.
I think it's Matt Smith. She's in that same episode with Capaldi in the Songs of Praise. She plays his fiance. Who he
okay. The lady that was the Dalek.
Tasha Lem is the
character.
Yes, the character. Yeah, I can't remember her name, but she
was the Pope.
She was in that thing with what was
Fringe.
it called?
She was Fringe briefly as well.
She was in that thing set in York where it was angels and devils.
Oh yes, with
Sam West, wasn't
it?
Yeah, yeah.
I tried to really I love Sam West.
And it was Tobias Menzies as well.
Yes.
A good recommendation, seeing as we're sort of there at the moment. It's on Sky One over here in the UK. Resident Alien. Well worth a watch. Well worth a watch.
Seen the first one. Gonna watch the rest.
Yeah, it's good.
Brilliant. It gets
the second series as well. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, when is the second series?
Alan Tudyk, can you?
Fall, maybe?
Oh, so it's not out yet. I'm pretty sure I've finished the first series, which is really upsetting.
You have time.
But in today's day and age, when you can get cancelled after a series, getting a guaranteed second series is very, very good.
Alan Tudyk only posted, I think, last week on Twitter that it was greenlit for a second series. So I think it's very early days, but it's one of our favourite series of the moment, to be honest.
I've seen the first episode, but I never like to try and get into a TV show unless it gets at least a second series.
It gets I know what you mean.
Were you burned by Firefly?
I was
too soon,
Space
Becky.
Above and Beyond.
Too soon.
That was a good call, Sinister.
Alien Nation.
And there is a guest appears, a guest voice from that said series appears in Resident Alien.
Which series?
I've seen this
Firefly.
thing on YouTube. I love it.
I noticed that little girl is carrying a con man lunchbox. And that's his thing he does. I think it's crowdfunded.
I met Alan Tudyk at Comic Con a few years ago.
Oh, wow.
We had a choice. So Wynn went to meet Kevin Smith, and I went to meet Alan Tudyk because these things are quite pricey. So we were kind of elected to do our bit. And I said, hello, great to meet you, blah, blah. Can we do an action pose? So we did an action pose. And then I happened to say that I thought Con Man was really lovely, and he was over the moon. You could tell everyone else was queuing up Firefly, and I just go, I love Con Man, it's really good. And he went, oh God, thank you so much. So that was his baby, his project that he nearly offered apparently the Star Wars gig, and he sort of went, I'm still doing Con Man. This slightly overlapped, so luckily Star Wars people kind of held back for him so he could finish Con Man and then start Star Wars. So yeah, a nice guy.
Sean, can I just quickly interject? Because Sinister Sloan scares me in case he's got access to the death ray, so he's got his hand up as well.
He's not Jewish.
I don't care.
It
I'm
doesn't
not
have a
taking any
Jewish
chances.
space laser.
I am not taking any chances.
It's only the Jewish that have got space lasers.
As an American, this hurts my heart. Please stop.
Oh, come on, you're out now. You're out. You're back out from under the shelf of the cumulonimbus. There is sunlight. Joe will sort you. Don't worry.
I don't know what's going on. Oh,
Welcome to Sunday nights.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is normal.
so, Dr. Sinister, what would you like to say? Your hand is still
Dr.
hanging
Sinister,
Well,
Dr. Sinister's
one of them
clone.
is. The other
So,
one's going to disagree.
clone-
You watch.
I didn't get a chance to do this before Kevin left, and I noticed that Eddie's got to leave in a little bit. There's one person we haven't talked about on this call, and that's Siobhan.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I
Who?
just wanted
Who?
to say thank you very much for the years of entertainment you've
Yes.
given us over many different types of media.
Yes.
Thank you for giving, and I haven't planned this, by the way. It's just come into my head. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to do the podcast and working on you all those years ago with the Vidiprog. And I would just like to have a round of applause for Siobhan, please.
I only have one hand, so.
You're all fired.
Thank you for interviewing Glenn McCoy at Hours
Oh,
Notice.
yes. Joe and I were up for most of the night researching Glenn McCoy.
You're
Last
covering
minute,
that time.
about 11 o'clock on the Friday evening, Steve
like to
turns
do
round
this.
and says, "You'll interview Glenn McCoy for me, won't you? First interview in the morning."
I like to do things like that.
Oh, and if anyone cares, because we've moved on, Robots of Death and 11th Hour. There you go.
Thank you very
Oh,
much.
this is
And-
the
and-
11th hour Sinister. I totally agree. That's what I had my hand up earlier, and I was going to say perfect jump drop on point. 11th
That's
hour.
what I would have said for new
the
series. as
11th
well.
Best
anniversary.
episode Matt Smith ever did, and it was all downhill from then.
Wasn't it the
Oh
11th anniversary
nonsense!
yesterday?
Nonsense.
I'm pretty sure it was the 11th anniversary of it yesterday.
Was it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Wow.
The 11th hour on the 11th anniversary.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, popped up in my Facebook memories because
And
I
the
was
perfect
all about
sister
the Mad
piece. The
Um,
perfect sister piece from the classic series is the Gunfighters. Yeah, that shut you all up.
No, it just means we're going to have to go back and look at it again to find out
No,
what's changed.
no.
Are you sure? Are you
Don't know
sure?
that. I don't know that myself, but Eddie, as if he did a mic drop then.
Eddie had a problem with the gunfighters.
I absolutely love the Gunfighters, but I don't
Oh,
know.
no.
Eddie continually has flashbacks from the Gunfighters.
With rings on their fingers
That
and
bloody
bells on
tune.
their toes.
No.
No,
Really?
but you have to look beyond that dreadful tune, don't you? I mean, yes, that was an awful mistake having that tune, but forget the tune and just look at what's going on, and it's a lovely story.
Hartnell's on fire during it.
Yes, and so's Peter.
Yeah.
That's the problem. He isn't on fire. That's
Yeah, the
that could
negative
actually-
should have been put on fire.
Oh my God Almighty! That goes
I'm
straight
already
up.
wearing it. I'm
Yeah,
already
that
wearing
goes
it.
straight up.
Dear,
Listen,
dear.
listen. If Bill had burnt, yeah, how would I still be sitting here with a vague, panicky hope that maybe one day, I'll get to
Peter,
do a big finish?
Peter Purvis put on an American accent during those
Stop
episodes.
shaking your head.
You're
that-
surely not
that
still going
Actually, that makes Brian's American accent seem realistic.
Come on.
What?
No, Steve, I've accepted.
I
my
actually
fate.
faked this
Accepted it
accent.
years ago.
Just
Sure.
for
Brian's
the
in
show.
Wales, aren't you, Brian?
Talking of
I'm
Brian,
actually from.
He's from Dulwich. He's from Dulwich.
Croydon.
Yeah, let's be honest. And we all know he's from Dulwich.
talking of Brian,
I put it on for the show.
there's a second.
I'm
Brian
now
here
having
tonight.
flashbacks to me ranting, several minutes worth of ranting about Perry's American accent now.
Yes,
Oh, no.
I remember
Which
that.
is the
and I was
fault of this
proud
show,
of
by
you.
the way.
I was so proud of you. I really was. Sinister, where's Brian?
Brian is on a shelf next to Amber and Howard.
Howard
Do you want me to
Hurd.
get him?
If you like. He was a presenter. I can't get hold of Daffy, unfortunately, the show's Muppet, because she's in a dark cupboard which I can't really open the door to. She's in a box and she's been there a couple of years and there might be spiders.
Oh no.
Vicky,
Oh,
you said
no.
you've only got one hand. Have you actually only got one hand?
No, see what happened was when the internet went down, I was getting too frustrated trying to reset it. So now I'm using my mobile for cellular data.
I was going to
So-
express interest and wonder how you came to not have a hand.
I've got to.
Jedi fight,
Yes.
horrible, disarming.
I have to
It's
interject
the
here.
Skywalker genes.
I'm sorry.
Got
but
cut
there's
off
a
too long
question in
after
chat.
regeneration.
There's a question in chat. I do apologise. Is Brian American? He sounds like he's an Australian.
Oh,
Say
Brian,
good
where are you
day,
from?
Brian.
Okay, I do not want that person in any language classes I teach because they clearly haven't got a
Yeah,
ear.
no.
The first
Definitely
person
American.
Brian. Everybody.
G'day, Brian.
How you
That
doing,
Brian
there, mate?
is Australian.
No, he's not. He is one of England's greatest actors.
Yes.
We're
He
waiting
was
for
the
his
11th
first Bond film to be released any day now.
Who's this?
There's a
Who's
trailer on YouTube of his first Bond film.
It's Brian Boring, one of the hosts of the Flashing Vidiprog.
Of course.
Yeah, and also the 73rd Doctor.
Yes, indeed.
Of course.
You can only see his cuffs. You can. Oh, there. Hey, nice. No.
Oh, nice.
Very good.
Very
It's a
happy.
shame I
looks
couldn't
really
get Daffy. It is. But I'll tell you one thing, bloody knacker your arm out trying to operate them. Florida Alley Cat has just said, Vicky got on Twitch and she didn't warn me ahead of time.
Ooh.
Okay, to be fair, I did not know we were going on Twitch. I just knew we were recording things. I didn't know how live we were going to go. This is not my fault.
It's live and just live
You need
enough
to
not
hit
to be
things
smelly.
and shout, "It's not my fault."
You see, this is what Sinister reminds me of who Sinister reminds me of, because Andrew likes doing a lot of angry shouting at things, to be fair. And he reminds me of the pirate captain. Apart from anything else, he's got the eye patch as well.
Beak!
By the very great claws of the sky demon.
By the moons of madness.
Dross and Baubles, or something. There's a new Target book out of the Pirate Planet. I finished reading it. It's brilliant. It's great. James Goss is so good at writing that.
He's good. He's good.
Yeah, so how's Brian been? What's he been up to?
Brian's been really busy, actually. He's a bit tired. He's just come back from LA this morning.
LA?
Lower Accrington.
Take it easy in your bubble then. If you
Pardon?
come back, take it easy in your bubble. If you've just flown back. It's the ice with you guys.
He's actually immune to coronavirus.
Well,
Oh,
God
nice.
damn it, stick needles in him. Withdraw floof. Come on, let's find out why.
We don't know why, do we? No.
Perhaps coronavirus enters through the legs.
Oh
And
Oh,
that's
oh
why
my
he's
gosh!
immune.
Oh,
Oh,
I think we found something here. We found a possible cure.
You've had it here.
you found the newest
Amputation.
QAnon strategy.
Cut our legs off?
I never needed to walk about anyway.
Right. Okay, we got to move on. Moving right along. Moving
How much
right
longer are
along.
we doing?
Oh, how long have you got?
Not very long.
I'll have
Stop
to
looking
drop
at
off very
Ian to
shortly.
find out.
No, I was looking at my clock. Not very long.
Not very long. Okay,
Clock.
well, in that case,
Clock.
really dear, just remember you're on video.
Okay.
And yeah, last week we nearly had a repeat of an incident. We'll talk about it once the show's over.
No. Let's not go there.
Okay.
Let's keep it PG. Let's keep it
Yeah,
clean.
let's not talk about it on the show.
Let's keep it clean.
We'll talk about it afterwards, guys.
Steve, when is the next Zoom call for the Hoovers?
It's,
'Cause I want to come
it's
along.
coming Friday. Coming Friday.
I will see you there.
Always put the details up on the Hoovers Facebook page.
Thank you.
All right. I need to thank people. I need to thank Brian, Eddie, Dominic, Steve, Robert, Vicky, Sinister, and of course Joe, who I've got to admit I didn't think I'd managed to get to come back, and she did, and it made me very happy.
Great hearing you, Joe.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she
Wasn't
when
worth
we
doing
started
without
the
Joe.
show, Joe was very much the heart of it, and came out with all sorts of things that made me question my normal views on a particular Doctor Who story. Plus, of course, she came out with the Space Goat and the theme tune, and of course the word Logopolitan.
I do randomly say that.
What, Logopolitan or Space Goat? Ah,
Oh,
dear.
yeah.
I've always remembered your discussion of the daisiest daisy.
Oh,
I
I
know
can't,
what that means now.
I can't remember
Seed,
so long ago.
seed.
I remember what it. I know what it means. I worked it out. It's great. I'm not going to tell you. You've got to work it out yourself. That's part of it. I'm sorry. I had to work it out. So sod the rest of it.
Thanks, Robert. I can't remember
Rude.
as long as I didn't offend anyone.
Listen, thank you all from down the years for being a part of this.
Enormous pleasure.
I'm
Enormous
surprised we're
pleasure.
still going, and we are. We're still going every Sunday evening, 9 p.m. normally on the Twitch thing, or we're on YouTube. That's /Bibble Thruster, spelled like it sounds. But it's fascinating seeing you all here together and thinking of the different forms the show took because of different personalities.
Doesn't it reflect the Doctor? Like, because the Doctor,
Yeah, why not? You know, it's a different side of the same dice. You know? Yeah. Oh, thank you very much, Florida Cat. Florida Alley Cat, even. Oh, dear, I'm not good. Oh, and Radox Green is there as well. He's a regular. He is, in fact, I think he is our regular viewer.
He is.
Yeah.
He is the regular.
Yeah, he's the regular one. We pay him.
All one of them.
But seriously, thank you so much over the years. It's been a privilege to sit down and talk complete bollocks with you. It really has. Yeah, I don't know what else I can say. Except this. Never be cruel. Never be cowardly. Just be kind. Toodles. You have been watching the Flash and Blade podcast live, featuring Joe, Robert Thornberry Lamont, Vicky Waters, Dr. Sinister, Kevin John Davies, Steve Hatcher, Eddie McKenna, Brian Kelly, and Dominic J. Martin. I can now breathe. Oh, by the way, no John Levine's were used during the making of this podcast.
Fighting for. They're well worth fighting for.
Speak your praise, Turbo.